I work as a paramedic in the emergency critical care unit of a small town in northern Montana. Out here, the land is harsh winds, rocky ridges, thin pine groves, and towns where people know their neighbors as well as the lines on their own faces. The job is tough, but familiar. Sometimes the night shifts don't just train you, they carve little pieces out of your soul, pieces that never come back. Tired faces, cold stretcher sheets, endless stories of pain and quiet courage. It all becomes part of you, running in your blood, refusing to let go. But one story broke me out of the routine. That evening, my father-in-law came to visit Vietnam War veteran, Marine Corps Sergeant Raymond Ray Holloway. A hard man. Straight, unshakable. He'd seen everything: village sweeps, night raids, extractions under fire. In the 25 years I've known him, I've seen him laugh. I've seen him angry. But one thing I had never seen was fear. Until that night. We were eating dinner together, Ray, my wife Maggie, and me. She joked about her coworkers, and Ray told a story about the raccoon terrorizing their backyard. It was cozy, peaceful, just a normal evening, until Maggie stepped out to call her mother. Left alone with Ray, I suddenly remembered my recent patient. "Hey, Ray," I said. "We had a guy come in last week. Found him half frozen on the edge of a logging settlement. Fractures. Frostbite. But he pulled through. Only, he kept rambling. The whole time." Ray looked at me carefully. What was he saying? Well, I hesitated. He kept repeating one phrase. Over and over. The black helicopter. But not just a helicopter. He specifically said Huey. I even asked twice. I thought I misheard. Ray slowly exhaled. I went on. "You know how it is. Hueys haven't been used by special services for decades. Seeing one around here would be like spotting a dinosaur. They exist only in private collections, hobby groups, maybe a museum or two. Hell, I haven't seen one in the air for 10 years. But he swore he saw a black Huey. Said it came for them." Ray's face hardened like stone turning colder. "And this guy was the only one we found," I added. "He went into the woods with a group. He came out alone. And even half conscious, he kept saying, they took everyone. Everyone but me." Ray pushed his plate away. "You said Huey? Black?" he asked quietly. "Yes." And the strange part, he described it like it was right above him. No markings. And people on board, masked. Ray lowered his gaze. "I know that helicopter," he said softly. "I know it too well." I froze. Because I realized he was about to tell me something he had never told anyone. Ever. "It was 71, he began. Thuatian, Hugh Province. A Shao Valley. We were doing a sweep during Operation Lamson 720. Rotten place, mountains, humidity, jungle so thick the air felt like it rejected your steps. Then we got hit by an ambush. Pinned down by fire from the ridge. The whole operation fell apart. Command lost contact, radios crackled like dying fish. Our squad leader, Lieutenant Haynes, ambitious idiot, wanted to finish the job with style. He dragged us way too deep, way too far. We had 3 wounded, including me. Bullet tore through my shoulder, scraped the bone. My legs wouldn't hold. The boys were bleeding out. And Haynes, that genius, called for it. I didn't understand at first. He was whispering into a broken handset. The radio wasn't even connected to a battery. But he kept whispering, like a prayer. Like he wasn't talking through the radio, but beyond it. And then we heard it. Not the usual thumping of rotor blades. No. Lower. Heavier. Muted. Like the helicopter was flying through cotton instead of air. The daylight dimmed. Wrong. Unnatural. Like a storm was slamming down out of a clear sky. The clouds rolled in within seconds. We looked up and saw it. A UH-1 Huey, but black. Blacker than night itself. Yeah, a lot of Hueys were painted dark back then. But this one was different. It didn't look painted. It looked like it was absorbing light. Like it was built from the gap between worlds. Nothing reflected off it, no sun, no jungle, no fire. Just emptiness. And in the door, where the door gunner should be, stood silhouettes. Dark goggles. Full masks. Heavy gloves. No faces. Barely moving. But their gestures, clear. Precise. They didn't speak. They didn't need to. They waved us over, telling us to get in. Now, Haynes climbed in first. 2 wounded followed. I refused. I asked quietly, "Why?" Ray clenched his jaw. Because that bastard Haynes left us there to die. My men died because of him. I wanted to face him one day, even if it took years. And if I climbed into that helicopter, there'd be no coming back. I felt it in my gut. He sighed. I refused. And you know what happened? A long pause. They left. Just lifted off and left. Took Haynes and 2 of our boys. I watched the thing disappear into the thickening clouds. And with every meter, the sound faded, softer and softer, like it was slipping into another world. I stayed behind. Alone. Half dead in the jungle. Men from the 101st Airborne found me 2 days later. Barely breathing. They swore there were no helicopters in the area that day. Clear skies. And our communication channel was completely dead. Haynes and the other 2 were never found. When Ray finished, I finally asked, "So what was it? Where did that helicopter come from?" He rubbed his face. I heard a legend from the Tonkin Ghosts, deep recon boys who spent months in the jungle. They said that in '64, near Da Nang, a Huey was shot down. Altitude 350 feet. Below rock, jungle, cliffs. No chance of survival. On board was the door gunner, a Lakota Native American, from a line of shamans. Name was, I think, Eli Standing in the Mist. They say when the helicopter was falling, Eli didn't scream from fear. He screamed from rage. And he reached out to an ancient spirit, one his ancestors called upon only at the edge of death. And he made a bargain. His eyes in exchange for life. His soul in exchange for becoming the spirit's guide. And the crew in exchange for serving forever. And from that day on, Ray said quietly, the Black Huey appears only to the desperate. It takes one man back, and the rest are given to the spirit. What happens to them after, no one knows. He looked at me with empty, tired eyes. Sometimes I think maybe it's still looking for those who refused it. Would have been something to see what's inside. But if I'd gotten on that thing, you'd never have met Maggie. You'd never hold your daughter. Only that thought kept me alive. And then I understood. Ray wasn't talking about the past. He meant that the Black Huey still flies somewhere over this land. And maybe it's still searching for those who once turned away from its shadow.